attorney or councilman? Okay.
Mayor Pro Tem is on.
Brian, you there?
Yes.
Okay. We're just waiting for City Attorney Splendario.
Frank just joined.
Close game. So.
City Attorney is now on, Mayor.
Okay. Call this meeting of September 28, 2020 to order at 6:05 p.m. Pledge allegiance by Jeannie Knight and invocation by Pastor Tyson Tolbert. Please rise.
America. Which is stands under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for the prayer. Pastor, welcome.
Let's pray. Lord, thank you for this opportunity in which to assemble and to take care of business that pertains to the city of Atwater. Thank you, Lord, that we can be here. Thank you for the many gifts and talents and abilities and strengths and insight and wisdom that is in this room. Thank you for assembling these people to give of their time and talents in this way. So, Father, I pray tonight that your blessing would be upon them, your favor would be upon them. I pray for every challenge that they have to discuss. And at times it may seem that the answer eludes them. I pray that you would give them wisdom and direction to do what is best for our community. And I do want to pray, Lord, also over their safety, that you protect them, seeing how we are in a time of unrest. So we do pray for peace. We pray for that over our community. I do ask for safety over our first responders, police, sheriff, firefighters, Lord, ambulance, all of them. I ask that your hand be upon them. And that tonight, Lord, we would see a way forward that would strengthen our community and strengthen families and protect children. So we thank you for that. Commit it to you. Bless this, Lord, according to your glory. In your name we ask it, in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Roll call.
Ambrose?
Here.
Hale?
Here.
Raymond?
Here.
Vieira? Here. Creighton?
Here.
We have a quorum.
City Attorney report out of closed session.
Yes, council considered one item in closed session, received information, provided direction, otherwise no reportable action.
Thank you. Approval, subsequent need items.
Mayor, there are no subsequent need items.
Approval agenda as amended or posted.
I make a motion to approve agenda as posted.
A second.
Motion by Vieira, second by Raymond.
Ambrose?
Yes.
Vieira?
Yes.
Raymond?
Yes.
Hale?
Yes.
Creighton?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Consent calendar.
Background information has been provided on all matters listed under the consent calendar, and these items are considered to be routine. All items under the consent calendar are normally approved by one motion. If discussion is requested on any item, that item will be removed from the consent calendar for separate action.
Are there any items on the consent calendar that City Council would like to remove for separate discussion? Ambrose?
Like to pull number 10?
Item 10. Any other items? Are there members of the public who would like to speak regarding any items on the consent calendar? Please come to the podium. State your name.
Lori Johnson, 1675 Drakeley Avenue. Okay, it says number 9. I'd like to address number 9.
So, Lori, when we get to 9,
Oh,
this is just a comment.
Oh.
That's okay.
Okay.
So what we're going to do, so you understand,
I thought you meant the calendar in a whole.
yeah, so so you want to speak about 9, so we'll pull 9 for separate discussion then also. So when I bring item 9 back, you'll be able to talk about it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mayor, I also do have a comment from the public regarding item 9 as well, that I received via email.
Okay, so we're going to pull item 9 by the public and 10 by Councilman Ambrose. See no others? Direction?
I'll move that we approve the consent calendar as modified.
I'll second.
Motion by Kale, second by Ambrose.
Ambrose?
Yes.
Viera?
Yes.
Raymond?
Yes.
Kale?
Yes.
Creighton?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay. Item 9, authorizing the recordation of municipal utility liens against real property for unpaid water, wastewater, and sanitation fees and charges. Finance Director Kelly Jacobs Hunter. Is she here or zooming in? Kelly, you there? She's not here.
Kelly is not. She's under the weather,
Okay,
and
so
so she is not.
City Attorney, you going to handle this one?
Yeah. So basically, what this is our municipal code requires that the council set by resolution the ability to impose. It actually clarifies council's authority, the city's authority to impose liens as one of the collection methods for delinquent water accounts, and that's what this item is simply intended to do. It's a very common practice throughout cities up and down California, and this is really just to make it clear that that's what have a clear legislative record to that effect, that's why this is a consent item. It's almost a cleanup item from Kelly's department, but that's the long and short of it.
Okay. I'm going to open it up to the public. We have the one that Janelle mentioned. Is that email or by telephone?
Correct, that was emailed.
Okay, so we're going to do the email one first, and then Mrs. Johnson, then you'll be able to go next.
If I could.
You can just read it in.
Okay. Regarding resolution authorizing the recordation of municipal liens against real property, my worry would be if it could possibly cause inflation on pricing by listing agents who find out about any liens on property being sold. Another would be that if a buyer finds out potential liens and decides not to buy, thus losing revenue for the city. The packet also points out the agenda under the analysis portion. The downside to a lien is that is only paid at the ownership and some title changes to the real property against which the lien is recorded. I would want to know the amount if the charged fees from the collection agency, and is it worth if a buyer decides not to buy the property. Thank you for your time, Michael Noguera.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Johnson? This is on item 9.
Item 9.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, so prior to this being approved, was this allowed? Was this practice allowed to be putting liens for so-called outstanding water bills?
So
I got this.
we can't go back and forth on,
I was a
On that,
question.
but-
So is it starting now? Is it when this is approved? Is this when this starts? That they're allowed to put liens on real property for water bills?
okay. Do you have any other questions on 9 also? That's one question.
One question. Okay. Number 2 is how will they go about putting the liens? How long will it take to get the lien put on the real property? How long will it? What's the process of it getting to that point?
Mr. Johnson?
Does
Okay,
it go where does it? Okay, so it starts with a water bill.
so you want to know when and what the process is?
The process of getting it to that point to the lien.
Okay. Is that all you had to ask?
That's what I want to know.
Okay, you can sit down. Thank you. Frank, do you want to answer those?
Yeah. So like I said, when I introduced the item, this is simply intended to clarify the administrative record, the legislative record for the council's authority to impose these. This is a very common practice. State law allows it, and this is to have a clear resolution to that effect. The length of time that it would take, I don't know how long generally, but I would say that the city placing liens is going to be the last step in the process, and so there's going to be a long period of, or I would say a good amount of period for the city to try to get voluntary payment before it goes to lien. So I would estimate, I think there's at least a 45-day delinquency period allowed under state law after the payment is due, and under new legislation that was enacted this year, plus with all the COVID forgiveness, is probably at least 90 days. But again, I don't want to be held to that. I think great follow-up would be for Kelly and her department when she's here. They could probably answer that specifically.
Okay. I think that's a good explanation. Any other members of the public have a comment on that? Please come to the podium, state your name.
Yeah, Richard Johnson, 1675 Drake Avenue. Isn't there supposed to be a judgment before you put a lien on anything? Doesn't the city have to have a judgment before they put a lien? That's one question I got.
Go ahead.
Okay, the other one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, second question. The water bill. We fought that water bill tooth and nail. No matter what, if I come up here, you guys knew I was coming, threw me in jail. I want to know what gives them the right to do any of that. But not only that, the water bill, if you guys cut the water off, say I don't pay my bill before the first of the month, right? If I don't pay that bill, you cut the water off and then charge a $20 and a $2 fee to turn it back on, right?
So
okay, so
stay on topic on this right here so that we.
That's what I'm saying.
So that you're asking about a different process. This is it doesn't automatically go in. I don't want to go back and forth either, but you know the process. It doesn't go in if you're late the first month ever. So
don't go in what?
What's your specific question?
No, but I'm saying, how do they determine we owe a past due bill of $8,000 when this all started? When you guys cut our water off for 4 years, how do they
determine?
Say you have a
How do they determine what
$8,000
you
past
owe?
due bill? It's impossible.
Okay, so
So
what's
they
your
can
next
just
question?
go put liens on people's property for it? We don't like the Johnsons, so we're going to put a lien on their property. That's the way the city does things.
No.
We are on top of everything you guys are doing. Okay, I'm done.
So just those,
On top of everything you're doing.
Richard,
You're doing it to us.
Richard, those two questions, all you had.
Yeah.
Thank you. Frank, first one is, what's the process to get a judgment?
So judgment liens is one type of liens in California. Those don't apply to utility liens or liens for other delinquencies or fines that the city exercises. These are liens that go through once they're delinquent. These are essentially contract liens. These aren't tort judgment liens. So the process is once there's delinquency, the city becomes a creditor essentially of those funds, and then it has a process that it has the ability to collect on liens.
So
And that's what this resolution is for.
Frank, you're describing a mechanics lien.
What the city's process is, or the other one?
Well, the ultimate, basically, it's like a mechanics lien on that property, not the individuals.
Yeah, it's a contract. It's like a contract lien, basically. That's the concept of it. It's not a judgment lien, so there is no decree by a court.
Okay. And then the other one was, how do we determine the value? I don't know that we can go into that answer right here, right now. We'll have to get back to you on how we determine what the value of that judgment lien would be. It has several factors, and no, you don't get shut off the very first time you're late. It takes a process of delay and delinquency. So, okay, any other members of the public? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to the dais. Council, do you have any questions? Kale? Ambrose? Vieira? Kale?
No, I don't.
Okay,
Okay. So,
Ambrose.
I'd like to just make a motion to postpone this item until the next council meeting. This way, Finance Director Jacob Hunter is here to answer questions. This way, we're not just voting yes or no without getting all the facts straight.
Okay, Vieira?
I'll second that.
You want to make that a motion?
I started off by saying motion.
Okay, so we're just going to pull it off and bring it to the next meeting then. That's your motion, second by Raymond. Council direction? Or call for the question?
Ambrose?
Yes.
Vieira?
Yes.
Raymond?
Yes.
Kale?
Yes.
Creighton?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Item 10, Item 10, approving a budget amendment to allocate funding for the repair and upgrade of the traffic signal at Winton Way and Bellevue Road and awarding a general construction contract to Tim Paxson Pacific Excavation, Inc. of Elk Grove, California for the repair and upgrade traffic signal at Winton Way and Bellevue. Director Thompson.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and members of the council. Tonight before you, what we have is an item proposing to repair and upgrade the signal light located at Bellevue and Winton Way. Just for clarification, I want to make sure that the council recognizes and that there is no confusion that the project that we're proposing in front of you tonight is not a part of the Winton Way reconstruction project. It is considered a project apart from that. It includes the traffic circulation fund. What we're doing here is the traffic detector loop installation that was a part of that project originally, or part of that facility originally, was installed in 1981. It's important to remember that since that time, Winton Way, through our Measure V efforts and what we have just recently funded, has redesignated Winton Way as a thoroughfare and a regional traffic facility. And therefore now this signalization has to be upgraded and improved to meet those standards. We're using this also as an opportunity to upgrade the accessibility or ADA requirements of the signalization, which are currently mismatched and are not operating or functioning correctly.
Thank you. I'm going to open it up to the public before I bring it back to council. Anybody in the public have a comment on item 10? Please come to the podium. Seeing none, we'll close public comment, bring it back to the dais. Ambrose?
I just wanted to get clarification, and I got that.
Thank you.
Okay. Kale?
One of the questions I had about this also was, is this gonna sync all the lights all going towards the downtown area also?
That effort is being done concurrently with this, but there are two projects going on that are independent of each other, council member. One is the improvements that would be required for that particular intersection, and then another synchronization project down Winton Way that are occurring near or at the same time of each other.
And I will make sure we're not getting any funding out of Measure V for that.
The synchronization project was previously funded through
CMAC.
CMAC, and then this project that we're doing with the installation of the new detector loops is our traffic circulation fund that's paying for that.
Okay, all right, that was my question.
Raymond, do you have anything? Anybody get that? That was inaudible.
I said nothing. I don't have anything on this.
Yeah. Okay, I have one. I want to make an announcement about the traffic signals and synchronization and traffic issue in general with the signal lights, that I'm going to appoint Roger Wood as a citizen liaison to work with Director
Thompson.
I forgot your name for a minute.
That's me.
Spell
Thanks.
that, please.
Spell just like the grape and the machine gun.
Citizen Wood, he's been very vocal the last 4 years I've been on the council, and short of me going out and pulling these loops and running the wires and talking to PG&E, I think he'd be a great advocate. So I'm going to appoint him to be a liaison, working through you with no authority but communication back and forth. He'll be able to share traffic concerns and other things directly with you. So I just wanted to let everybody know that we're going to do that tonight also. So we have another set of eyes out there. And Roger Wood is very passionate about signal lights. If it takes 10 seconds too long, he's going to let you know about it. So hopefully he lets you know about it instead of me all the time, because it's very frustrating for us on the council when we don't know what you guys have in the queue with PG&E and when you're pulling loops or you're repairing things or fixing things from 1986, which I just learned tonight. So great to hear that. I'm glad you answered all the questions perfectly, and welcome aboard, Roger Wood. So motion to approve items 9 and 10.
I second if I'm allowed to.
Well, we already approved 9.
Yeah.
So item 10, my bad.
I'll make that a motion to second the approving of the budget amendment.
Ambrose?
Yes.
Viera?
Yes.
Raymond? Mayor Pro Tem is no longer on the feed.
That's okay, we continue.
Okay. Kale?
Yes.
Creighton?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Item 11, public hearings. Waiving first reading and introducing an ordinance approving Element 7 Atwater LLC development agreement regarding cannabis business pilot program for cannabis dispensary, distribution, and cultivation business located at 230 Commerce Avenue. Director Thompson.
Make sure I'm still on here. Good evening, Mr. Mayor and members of the council. Thank you for your consideration of this item. This group has been working very well and diligently with the city. Tonight, what we're asking for is the continuation of this item until the next public hearing, both at the request of the city staff and of the applicant.
Okay. Raymond, you back on? Okay, I'm gonna open this up to the public comment at this time. Any members of the public like to come forward and speak on this item? Please come to the podium, state your name. Seeing none, we'll close the public comment, bring it back to the dais. Council? We're just gonna, does this take an action item or are we just, Greg?
We're just looking to continue the item at this point, so action by the council to continue.
Okay. Council, what's your direction?
I'll make a motion to continue the public hearing to the regular city council meeting of October 12th, 2020.
I'll second.
Ambrose?
Yes.
Viera?
Yes.
Raymond?
Yes.
Kale?
Yes.
Creighton?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Item 12, waiving the first reading and introducing an ordinance approving Pacific Ag LLC development agreement regarding cannabis business pilot program for cannabis cultivation, distribution, and manufacturing business located at 1779 and 1883 Sycamore Avenue. Director Thompson.
Here again is an example of an applicant that's working very well with the city. We're working out some infrastructure dealings with this particular applicant, and at the request of city staff and at the applicant, we're asking that this also be continued.
Okay, this time we'll open it up to the public. Any members of the public come to the podium? Seeing none, bring it back to the dais. Council, what's your direction?
I'll make a motion to continue the public hearing to the regular city council meeting of October 12th, 2020.
I'll second.
Motion
I'll
by
second.
Vieira, second by Ambrose.
Ambrose?
Yes.
Viera?
Yes.
Raymond?
Yes.
Kale?
Yes.
Creighton?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, we have Supervisor McDaniel here. You want to come to the podium and say a couple of short words and let us know what's going on?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Mayor, for this opportunity. I wanted to bring up that the Ready to Open Small Business Assistance Program that the county had put together closed as of last night. We held it open for an extra week, and I can tell you that the folks in District 3 have requested $504,000. So we had $600,000 per district, and so that's really good news. Tomorrow is the final budget for us at the county. It's a $762 million budget. 63, I guess 62.6. So we'll be having our hearings tomorrow on our final budget, and I got to tell you, our revenues are higher than our spending, so things are looking good. Merced County is in a good spot. Thank you.
Excellent. Can you hold on 1 second, Viera?
Hello? I did have a call this week come in. I know that there was some misscheduling or something that happened for your open office hours, and I was wondering, because I was told by this individual it had happened on more than one time, if we could make allowances when Mr. McDaniel cannot use the facilities here, or possibly in the public just move him to the community center. There seems to be more access over there, and then moving forward, if we have training or something here, I think before were in the community center, and over there's more than one meeting room, so if something were to happen, he would always have availability there. Just food for thought, and that did come in from a concerned citizen who does enjoy time with you every month.
It's actually building. The constituency really appreciates being able to come, and we can give them the direction, whether it's a city, county, state, or federal issue, we're able to direct them in that.
Okay,
in
so
that
just
manner.
a concern.
I think a consistent meeting place would be very good.
Exactly, and so when I got the call, I thought, well, maybe I would suggest moving your meeting to the community center, and I'll let Gina fly with that from there and see what we want to do.
I think if the supervisor wants to do that, it should not be an issue. It's your pleasure, so.
I think it's, as long as there's a consistent meeting place, I think it's better for our constituency.
And we'll try to get you with the recreation department so we can get you on the schedule, and then there won't be we apologize for that too. We have the new rims. You can see all the computers in here, so we apologize that we just got caught up in everything we're doing. So we're moving fast here in the city, so.
Hey, I'm pretty flexible, but sometimes our constituency really needs.
Yeah, so if you decide to do that, then we'll make a note too in the newsletter also for you.
Perfect, very good.
Okay, thank you, Supervisor.
Mayor, if I may.
Yeah, go ahead, Councilman Raymond.
Yeah, Supervisor McDaniel, I just want to thank you for going out with City Manager Waterman and kind of educating our businesses here on your Ready to Open and helping with reimbursement of the costs that it took to actually open up. We greatly appreciate it. As you know, we've been in a battle with the state, and the fact that you and the county are stepping up to assist our businesses with that is greatly appreciated. And we just look forward to your continued assistance in the city of Atwater. Thank you.
Right on, thank you.
Thank you.
And I have to say, a lot of those conversations with these businesses, I had to give them or help them with some strategies to be able to use the money, because some of them didn't even want to open their doors because I thought it'd be too difficult. But being able to turn in their receipts and get reimbursed by this money has been very helpful. So I see a lot of restaurants opening now because of that. So very good. Thank you, Councilman Raymond and Viera.
Of course, thank you.
Mayor. Thank you. Any other questions?
No, thank you.
Right on, thank you.
Comments from the public?
At this time, any person may comment on any item which is not on the agenda. You may state your name and address for the record, however, it is not required. Action will not be taken on an item that is not on the agenda. If it requires action, it will be referred to staff and/or placed on a future agenda. Please limit comments to a maximum of 3 minutes.
Do we have any speaker cards or?
Mayor, I do have speaker cards, as well as I have a comment that was received via email.
We'll do the email one first, then we'll work our way through the speaker cards.
And I do have to comment, Mayor, that the clock behind is not working, so I do have to use my phone, just so if you notice that it's not working, that is why.
Do you want me to monitor your phone while you?
I can see it, but thank you.
Thank you.
But if you notice, the noise is different, that's why.
Yeah. So I'm going to read the email that was received. Since we are in COVID-19, we're alternative sources of communication.
Atwater Mayor and City Council, subject to public comment. To Atwater Mayor and City Council. on Saturday, September 26, 2020, Mayor Paul Creighton had planned a Back the Badge event with Jacob Shockley in Atwater. Upon learning of this event, the Merced Black Alliance and people of color organized a counter-protest. Mayor Creighton then invited the anti-government California State Militia Echo Company to the event to keep the peace. The irony of an anti-government militia answering the call of a local government is not lost. It is also curious why he would invite a militia to keep the peace instead of trusting the Atwater Police Department. He presumably invited his friends, the anti-vaccination Freedom Angels, who he has invited to Atwater many times before. A few days before the event, Shockley canceled the event, citing credible threats, but was not considered credible according to Atwater Police Chief Michael Salvador. Despite canceling the event, it still happened, with Mayor Creighton describing it as Back the Badge rally to reporters. Also in attendance with Odin Young of Central Valley Proud Boys, a classified hate group by both the Southern Poverty Law Center and the Anti-Defamation League and the Central Valley Patriots. What was supposed to be a rally showing support for the Atwater Police Department looked and sounded more like a white nationalist rally. Other than a few thin blue line flags, there was nothing remotely close to showing support for law enforcement. Instead, there was a riot shield held by one of the members of the California State Militia members stating, "Free Kyle Rittenhouse," who has been charged with murder and other counts in Kenosha, Wisconsin. There were signs with the tired argument about black on black crime. There were Trump 2020 flags, "Don't tread on me" flags. It would seem the rally was really a counter-protest to the counter-protest. Obscenities were shouted by both groups. At one point, Freedom Angels co-founder Denise Aguilar crossed the street in an attempt to instigate the members of Merced Black Alliance and people of color under the guise of wanting to talk. A small group of agitators joined her, including Young and his dog. The counter-protesters told her she needed to put on a mask if she wanted to talk with them, but she refused and continued to stand in their personal space. Almost no one on the Back of the Badge canceled rally side wore masks. Fortunately, the Atwater Police Department was able to get the agitators back on their side of the street.
Thank you. How many speaker cards do we have?
I have 3, possibly 4.
Who do we have first?
First, I have Corey Billings.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. Corey Billings, Recreation and Events Department. First, I want to start off by thanking Councilman Kale, Mayor Creighton, and Chief Salvador, and the fire department for helping us get the 9/11 tribute video together. If you had that opportunity to view that, it turned out amazing. We are setting a precedent of providing amazing online and virtual activities, this being our second event. Our first event being our Patriotic Porch Parade on the 4th of July, which was obviously a huge success. So leaning on that success, many people in Atwater are saying, what's going to happen on Halloween? Are our kids going to trick or treat? What are we going to be allowed to do? So Recreation and Events is coming up with a Halloween porch parade because we have a lot of people who love to decorate their homes, whether it be for fall or for Halloween. We want to encourage members of the community to step up and really have fun this year. Yes, it's different. That's been the theme of 2020. Everything is different. Obviously, recreation has been extremely different. But we're very excited to have a virtual event starting where you can sign up, and then a series of judges will go out and judge in 2 categories, scariest decorations and then best fall decorations. We're really excited. The event will go live around the 1st of October. About 3 or 4 days prior to Halloween, the judges will go out and hit hit the pavement, judging the homes that are entered. We want to encourage the Atwater residents to participate, but if you're outside of Atwater and you would like to enter, you're welcome to do so. Our judges will not go out and actually judge your home, but you will get placed on the map. So all the people who want to drive around and actually see the homes, they can see those that are on the map even if they're not judged. It's still
A way to include McSwain and some of the closer areas.
absolutely. We want to include everybody. It's always a lot of fun to
That's right.
have more people. So again, it's just an opportunity to show the spirit of Atwater and show that we really do want to have fun in Atwater and try something different. I'm also very excited to say that next month I get to come before the council and provide you a full recreation update, and I'm really looking forward to that opportunity as we're cycling through the first quarter, and that's something that I promised I would do when I took the position, is provide you guys full updates.
Awesome.
Mr. Mayor.
Great news. Thank you. Who do we have next?
Next, we have Richard Williams.
Welcome.
Richard Williams, 112 Nutmeg Avenue, Atwater, California. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, City Council members, and the citizens of Atwater. As a resident of Atwater over 35 years, I'm here to express my deep and sincere concerns about outside groups being invited and to unduly influence the citizens of Atwater by members of our City Council. It is alarming that you feel the need to bring in Freedom of Angels and its members throughout the state to attend our City Council meeting on 7/27/2020 regarding the reconsideration of sanctuary city status, and again on Saturday, 9/26/2020 during the Back the Badge rally, in which the co-founder of Freedom Angels, Denise Aguilar, went across the street, not as an extension of finding common ground, but to incite and intrude on peaceful members of the Black Lives Matter. I was not there, but I did watch her entire video and other videos depicting the demonstration of both groups. I respect Blue Lives Matter, as my own father was a sergeant with the Stockton Police Department for over 35 years. I also have several members of my family who are police officers and sheriff deputies. But to have a militia group from Northern California, known as the California State Militia Group Echo Company, dressed in full military fatigue with riot gear and the military surplus vehicle present, only elevates and serves as an intimidating purpose. We have a well-qualified police department to handle the peaceful demonstration that was taking place. Thankfully, they handled the incursion that occurred peacefully with professionalism. Yes, both groups have the right to express their God-given right to demonstrate through our Constitution that I have defended in serving in the United States Navy for 5 years. And that being said, given our current national awareness of injustice that's been happening, I support the peaceful Black Lives Matter demonstration. However, it was disappointing to see one sign that stated "Blue Lives don't exist." I was also concerned of the lack of social distancing and face masks not being worn by the Back the Badge demonstrators. When my father retired as a sergeant from the Stockton Police Department, which was most of his career, he spent training new officers and working in the high crime areas of Stockton. I asked him what was his most proud accomplishment during his career, and his answer was, "I never had to use a service revolver." That told me what kind of a man my father was. He resolved issues peacefully and was sworn to do in protecting and serving his community. His insight served me well in the 20 years I served with the California Department of State of Corrections. I resolved my incidents without having to resort to any physical encounters. In closing, I ask that you allow citizens of Atwater to have the right to be heard through representation of those who we elected to resolve our issues, not by outside groups who don't reside in this beautiful, sleepy, peaceful bedroom community. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Who do we have next?
Next, we have Richard Johnson.
Welcome.
Okay, Richard Johnson, 1675 Drakely Avenue. I'm here tonight, just like I've been for the past 6 years, exercising my First Amendment right to freedom of speech. On September 14th, there was a hearing between us and the city. Your attorney, Greg Thompson, and code enforcement officer was there concerning our protest signs on our property. After noticing high police presence, the hearing officer asked if someone was going to be arrested. She also thought it was strange that your attorney was present. After hearing all the city's lies, she found in your favor this time, but the last time it was in our favor the first time. Just so everybody, to make that clear, you guys did violate our rights in 2015 by raiding our property. Okay. It was only because you guys changed the zoning on our property, she couldn't rule on the legality of how you went about rezoning our property at 1675 Drakely, our home of 17 years now. So, isn't this an interesting finding? You guys rezone our property, then comes code enforcement officer, your puppet, to start the harassment all over again. But knowing that her hands would be tied, you started with citations, then the hearing came. It's more obvious than ever, you did not follow procedure when rezoning. That's it?
Thank you.
No.
No?
No,
Wait a
no,
minute.
you're good. Keep going.
Sorry, we'll restore your time. How much time does he have remaining?
He has a minute and a half.
Take your time.
It's more obvious than ever. You did not follow procedure when rezoning our property. Not only that, it should never been rezoned. We had no clue you was rezoning that sucker behind our back. Who the hell does that? I'm sorry. It's enough is enough. This is the shady shit that you as a city have been getting away with far too long. Johnsons are here to put a stop to this kind of criminal behavior. If you weren't consumed with such hatred towards us, we would have been taken care of and been long gone out of this city. Instead, you use unlimited money from taxpayers to fight, go after us, target us, cite us, making it more obvious. We will not back down. We will not stop. We will not go away. The Johnsons are here to stay. Keep that checkbook ready. How much will the Johnsons cost this city before you wise up? This is not good for our community. We are a couple who was wronged, and the right thing to do is compensate. Not take everything from us like you already have. But you would rather pay much more than need be with all the legal and illegal taxes you throw at us. You didn't get us with that ruling. You only exposed more of your crimes. Us finding out that Code Enforcement Garcia is related to Council Member Vieira reaffirms our fears and concerns. You keep committing terrible crimes to cover up your many other horrible crimes against us. How far are you willing to go, and how much of the taxpayers' money are you willing to spend? Residents should demand you put a stop to your frivolous spending of their money. I demand you stop spending my money to retaliate against us. Have a good day.
Thank you. Next speaker,
Jeannie Knight.
welcome.
Good evening. Paul, if I understood you right, you're the one that called the militia or whatever you want to call them?
We can't go back and forth, but no.
I just want to...
I didn't call anybody in here.
Okay. I have to assume they're free then? When they come here, they're free? You didn't pay them?
No.
Okay, good.
Who else do we have? Thank you.
Mayor, we have no more speaker cards.
Okay. Thank you. Any other members of the public that come forward at this time? Welcome.
Hello, my name is Daniel Perez, 2383 Redwood Avenue. I just want to say thank you guys for the hard work you guys have been doing. I speak on behalf of Richard Miller, pastor of Victory Baptist Church, and also Victory Baptist Church in itself, that we're praying for y'all, to do the right thing, and also Waterman for what had happened. So we do stand by that. If y'all need anything, please let us know. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other members of the public that come forward at this time? Seeing none, close public comment. City council comments, matters. Kale?
I want to thank the chief and the Atwater Police Department for maintaining a civil atmosphere on Saturday here, and communicating to us that that as far as we knew, it was not going to happen. And then everybody showed up, and I was pleased to see that it was relatively civil. I talked to both sides and asked them that specifically to please be civil. I walked across the street and asked them to please be civil. I spent a long time with my granddaughter and my daughter, who was on the people of color side, and talked to them and asked them a simple question. Are you better living here than you ever were living down in LA? And they absolutely said yes. And I said, and this is why, is that we can allow people to come here and talk to each other, scream profanities, use their middle finger, do everything. They have every right to do that. And you have every right to sit here, and we have every right to take it. So thank you, Chief, and you guys did a great job. And I love what you guys were doing, and I love the fact that you were ready for anything. And I appreciate that greatly. Other than that, I met with I just ran into a lady, and she gave me a great piece of advice. She said, draw a circle around yourself. Everything that you can control, write it down and put that in your circle. Everything you can't control, throw it outside that circle. Work on those things in your circle, and forget those things outside your circle. You'll be a happier person. So I'm working on trying to be a happier person.
Ambrose?
I too want to also thank the chief and his crew for making sure everything was as peaceful as possible this past weekend. Though I do not agree with either side what they were chanting, I don't believe there was any clear message besides just people going back and forth across the street. I was there for about 2 hours, and again, learned nothing from what either side wanted. So, yeah, all I ask, if you're gonna come and protest or voice your thoughts and opinions, make it known. Don't just sit there and yell, don't sit there and yell language that, you shouldn't be saying in front of your grandparents or in front of your children. Yeah, I understand one side was there to back our badge. You know what, we have local groups here that can do that. If you're there to back our badge, why are you bringing up the president? What does the president have to do with our team here? If you're there because Black Lives Matter to you, why were you chanting F you and defund the police? You're not making your point heard. That's my opinion on everything. And other than that, you guys have a good evening.
Raymond?
Councilman said it best there, and I agree with his sentiments. But I just want to say, one of our own is hurting and suffering from the most severe pain anybody could ever go through in this life. And I just want her to know that we love her, we're praying for her, and that's about it. I mean, really, just our love and prayers are with you. God bless you, and we'll see you soon.
Pierre? Thank you, Raymond.
I think the Back the Badge rally was a wonderful idea. We're in pretty unprecedented times with the hatred that we're seeing. This is an election year like I've never seen before. Sometimes I don't even know what one person stands for over the other. There's just so much hatred. There's not a clear vision for either candidate sometimes. So I hope that we can at some point come together and as Americans and remember our freedoms and our blessings and really what it's all about, and try to quiet some of the hatred. What really matters and what's really important and so dear to us can be taken in an instant and in a second. And one of our very own here at the city has gone through that and lived that firsthand. And I want her to know that the phone calls and the outpouring of love from an entire city is heartfelt. They're broken for you. As a council, we are heartbroken and are mourning for you, are praying for you. I hope you feel our sincere outpouring of love and grief for you. We know you'll come back. We know you'll be strong every day, a little bit stronger. It's like a drop in the bucket. It doesn't seem like much. A penny in the pot doesn't seem like much, but after a while, there's enough there to come together and count. So it must be. I hope that you feel that with all of the distraction and the hatred that's going on, there is a counter of love and human compassion, and I hope that she feels that. I hope that's quieting some of the hatred that's going on in the city, because at the end of the day, when our race is won, the finish line's the exact same for every one of us. So I do pray for my city that we find peace and that some of that hatred will dissipate, and that way everybody can say their passion, say what they believe. You don't have to believe one way. That doesn't have to counteract in hatred for another way. I want to believe green and you want to believe yellow. That doesn't mean I have to hate yellow and you have to hate green. We can each believe our own. So I think it's good that we have our freedoms, but that we need to remember that in an instant that can all be taken from us, and stop and be thankful for what we have. And that's pretty much the end of me tonight.
Thank you. I just want to address a couple of comments that were made about me tonight by residents of Atwater here. Back the Badge was a public event held on Facebook by a private citizen of America. I was invited to it just like you were invited to it, and I shared that, and over 700 people did view that from my page, and it's America. Everybody's welcome in. Every day there's thousands and thousands of people that travel into Atwater from outside the area. So to say that nobody's welcome outside of our area to shop or view an opinion or support, God forbid they support our police department and law enforcement. Why is that a crime in America today to stand up, stand on a street, and take your hat off and salute law enforcement for them putting their lives on the line every single day? I'm not going to cower down or be cancel cultured out because somebody's making up a bunch of baloney lies that said that I paid for somebody to come in here, and that disgusts me that people would say that I did that. And you asked that to me in a way that you thought I paid for somebody to say something like that. They came in because they wanted to come in and support somebody. So to gin up this hatred for the people, and I did watch some of the videos, and I didn't see anything but emotion on both sides. But let's address the California State Militia. As I was giving an interview to the Merced Sun-Star, one of the militia members was talking to another resident of Atwater and said that they were there to support the police department and to make sure that they had an opportunity to support and show their appreciation to all law enforcement, Atwater PD, Highway Patrol, Merced County Sheriff's Department, and every other law enforcement agency in this nation, along with the deputies that were shot in the face down in Los Angeles, murdered, tried to assassinate them right there. So, you know, people's tension is a little bit high, and I think both sides, but to make a crime out of community supporting their law enforcement, to come and protest law enforcement, I don't see the right in that side. But that's my view. I think that in America, we have the right to both assemble peacefully and say what we want to say, and both sides did. And I made the comment that, well, as long as they're peaceful and nobody puts hands on each other, you may not agree with what's going on in this community or in life, or what I do in my private time, or what you do in your private time, or anything else. But by God, you better back up the police department, because that's who you call, and that's our last line of defense, you know. So be positive and think about the good things. Don't focus on the negative, because I think too many people are focusing on the negative. I do want to thank our police department personally, that they've gone above and beyond. We are a nice community, and I'm very proud of you guys, and I'll stand there every day with you. You know, like I told your guys when they were out on the street, you know, it takes a lot to be a police officer. If you've ridden around with these guys, some of the way they're being treated in the field is disgusting by our citizens. But you know what? The other half is wonderful to see the hearts pour out and the love that they give to our officers in this community. So I'm proud, and I understand America is very diverse. So I still support people's opinion to disagree and to protest, as long as they do it in a safe fashion like they did. So I'm okay with being part of that event, and I support anybody else who wants to be at that event, either side. No, sir.
Mr. Mayor, if I could
Chief?
get a couple minutes. I'd like to publicly thank the Merced County Sheriff's Office for their assistance on Saturday. Supervisor, please, I'm going to write the sheriff a personal letter thanking him for his support to the PD. And if you see him tomorrow, I don't think I will be able to get to your meeting. If you could please convey that for me to him, I do appreciate it. This is the reason why we sent people to San Francisco, and this is the reason why we sent people to North Fork, and because this police department is a capable police department, but its resources are not limitless. And we needed help. And the sheriff didn't even bat an eye. So I was very, very confident that we would be able to keep the citizens of Atwater safe. I was very, very confident that we would be able to allow both sides to express themselves in a manner that was constitutional without having what you've seen in other jurisdictions on the streets of Atwater. And for that, I want to thank my crew, who did a fabulous job on Saturday. Some of them have not had a day off in about a week, because as you can tell around us, we're getting ready to deploy our new records management system, and they were in training on Thursday and Friday, and they all came back out on Saturday. So the dedication of my people are unmatched in my 33 years of law enforcement. So I want to thank them also publicly. And I want to thank the citizens of Atwater publicly. That could have been really nasty out there, and it wasn't. And the reason it wasn't is you. Sir, you. Ma'am, you. Your families, everybody that showed up. It is a challenging time to be a police officer in this country. I haven't seen situations like this since the early 1990s. And it's not going to get better anytime soon. But with your prayers and our dedication, we'll do the best job we possibly can for the citizens of Atwater. If you want to know why we did what we did, my door has always been open. I've been here for 19 months now. You can get to me. So thank you again, Council. Thank you for your support. Citizens of Atwater, we received at least 25 calls from citizens saying, we back you. Thank you very much for being out there. So I do want to thank everybody who supports us, and I also want to thank people that are willing to come and tell us when we fail, because we're not perfect. So thank you again, Mr. Mayor. Thank you for the time to speak, and Supervisor, please send the sheriff my thanks.
Thank you, Chief. So, in closing, the point I want to drive home is that it's a free country and people are welcome here from anywhere, as we're welcome in their communities from anywhere. And when events happen, they should happen in a peaceful way as it happened here. It would have been nice not to have somebody opposing and asking to defund our police department, but that's the culture we're in today. But I'm not going to change my position. I support law enforcement to the end. So enough of that. And also, to echo what the chief said, Merced County Sheriff's Department, wow. Thank you guys very much. Can you please pass that on? Outstanding professionalism, in the background shadows, resources were awesome. It was great to see our two teams work together. The California Highway Patrol went by several times and got a lot of thumbs up with them, so very proud of them also. And then in closing, City Manager Waterman, prayers. We miss you, and we're ready for you whenever you're ready to come back. So take whatever you need. We love you up here. Meeting adjourned.